Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelhon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
There's always a way to send things around. There's always a way to go things to make it proper if you want to do so. There's always a way to talk about sporting activities when it comes to nice, what we saw at the weekend. Every week and every weekend, it's usually so nice when you talk about sports. And I feel great to be on the show today because we have a lot to talk into. It's just really, really so much to check out for. Starting from the Alcaraz story from the tennis world, talk about Naomi Osaka's story, Match Ben, Red Bull News, the world of Formula One. Look at the NBA, Doncic on the story. You're looking about Carlos Alcaraz, what he has done on tennis world. So it's really, really so compacted. Rory McIlroy, they'll go forward, Bruce Koepka. And I'd like to say on the show today that we have so much installed. And I must tell you the reason, because we saw what happened for the football-wise. I must say congratulations to Manchester City for what they did right. for being that champion that they deserve. Well-deserved final, and the question remains psychologically, would this play a part on Arsenal's mindset going forward, talking about the Premier League? And just to remind you again, April 19, 2026, both teams will play right at the Etihad as Arsenal going away from home. So it's just so much to look into on the show today. We did see Ademola Lookman, Nigeria international, scoring and making a milestone for himself, putting himself on the map, edging the same as a first Nigerian player to score in the Madrid derby. And I was going to say Manchester, but no way. Yes, we start off with this very first one before we get to that phase. I think the sweetest of them all, I think the biggest news is that Achraf Hakimi has rejected. He said, I would not take the medal, I would not take the trophy, I would not see myself as a champion because I did not deserve it. So he is saying, the Moroccan international is saying that there's no way you can tell us that we are champions off the pitch. Well deserved for Senegal. So it makes it interesting. So I could say possibly maybe a shame to CAF or maybe a shame to Moroccan football because their own key player has said, he's a mommy's boy. He said something, he said, mommy said I shouldn't take it. And I believe that Hakimi say no, the rest of the players also say no. But we have guests who will be joining us. I have a man live here with me on the show today. And then also in a short while, we also connect to Edo State, Benin to be exact, and bring in Carrington Palmer. So double guests on the show today so we can make it a worthwhile moment. And then we can kickstart officially. But let's give you some top stories, the way it started. World number one in the tennis world, Carlos Alcaraz, was knocked out of the Miami Open in the third round after a surprise 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 defeat by Sebastian Korda. Top seed Alcaraz in the two produced a sloppy first set, and which gave the American rider the early initiative. But Korda looked to have blown his chance in the second set. Korda also set for the match at a 5-4, but he was broken to love by the Spaniard, who went on to win the next two games to force a third set. Carlos Alcaraz up to ante, but Korda held his nerve and seized the break for a 4-3 in the third round when his opponent struck for forehand in that very phase. Now we move also to the tennis world. Still on tennis, we'll talk about Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka has said she does not intend to continue competing if she frequently loses first-round matches after suffering a disappointing 7-5, 6-4 defeat to Australian Talia Gibson in her opener at the Miami Open. Osaka, who received a first-round bye as the sixth seed in Miami, moved selfishly in an Eros-tuned performance and then was outplayed by the talented 21-year-old Gibson, who will play Ivajovic in the next round. A question on Osaka's plan for the upcoming clay court season prompted the 28-year-old to reflect on the difficulties of juggling murder with her goals as a tennis professional. She is really questioning her tennis play, and then she has also been struggling with a back injury over the past week, which she joked was due to her old age. And I recall in an interview she said, "Your girl is getting old out here," and she was also laughing. Now we'll run away from that and talk about something else again, the boxing story. Tyson Fury keeps trying to quit boxing, yet just when he's out, he pulls it back in Fury game, and he's insisting he never meant to come back to the boxing. Yet, nevertheless, on April 11, his brief retirement will come to an end when he fights Asbalenka Mukhmadov at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the start of 2025, still smarting over his two losses to Alexander Usyk. Fury announced he was finished with the sport. It's by no means the first time Fury has retired and then reversed course, but he's adamant it was not planned. So it's not a pre-planned one. Now, also from the Fury news, we talk about the boxing story again that brings you this one. Matchroom chairman Ed Hearn has updated the latest boxing news regarding the ongoing speculation that Dillian Whyte is a prominent candidate for Anthony Joshua to return to the ring against a rematch of that 2015 fight we did see in London. Since that night, Joshua has gone on to become a David Beckham of British boxing, competing in a succession of stadium fights and scalping the likes of Kishikov, Alexander Popkin, and also Francis Ngannou through the years. Meanwhile, Dillian Whyte also has flirted with world title levels, beating Parker, Popkin, and Jermaine Franklin. He is indeed in need of a bounce back show following his brutal first round clash, and that's to rising Moses Ituama. Now, let's say this. We just saw that emotional part of Anthony Joshua, and then we are waiting to know if he wants to come back as quick as possible. But from the boxing one, we run and tell them all of this one. This one is emanating as well. It's the story that says a lot about golf. Matt Fitzpatrick bounced back from his final hole disappointment at the weekend, talk about last week, and also in that Vasco Championship to bury the last round and also won the Vasco Championship by a stroke for his first PGA Tour victory in almost 3 years. This Englishman displayed superb consistency as he shot 68-69 over the weekend with just 6 birdies and 30 pars. But the most important of the shots he picked was that of the Copperhead course, though that's the 18th hole. And then for Formula One story, Max Verstappen has denied that his complaints over the new cars for the 2026 Formula One season stem from Red Bull position in a pecking order across the opening 2 rounds, of the season. Max Verstappen has consistently voiced his disapproval with the new challenger. The car have been built under a fresh set of technical regulation, and a big emphasis is now placed on the harvesting and deployment of energy from the power unit. Red Bull has also slipped back in the pecking order, while Mercedes has established itself at the front of the grid. And Verstappen has also insisted he will still be as vocal with his complaint if he were winning the Grand Prix. And also from one man, we talk about the Dutchman to the English. Lewis Hamilton has a good reason to be optimistic after his first 2 race weekend at the Formula One start of Ferrari. And the 7-time world champion has finally bagged his first Grand Prix podium for Ferrari at the record 26th attempt. And the team look in an increasingly good shape to lead the championship charge to our current runners in this one. However, Mercedes have its own heat rather than a wanting anniversary for Hamilton in that one, and it's marked exactly 1 year since his last win. The question is, when did he last win a race? Lewis Hamilton hasn't just won a Grand Prix since July 28, 2024, when he defaulted into victory following the disqualification of Mercedes teammate George Russell in Belgium. But it's also 1 year, including sprint races. So Hamilton's last win was in 2025, China sprint on March 22, 2025, where at that time it looked like his Ferrari career was ready to kick on with an outside shot of the championship. Now we keep on moving away from that one and talk about the NBA. LeBron James has put himself on the mark. He's edged his name somewhere. LeBron James broke the NBA record for most regular season games played on Saturday, taking the cut of his 1,612th game in the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, I think it's just about how far he has come. The 41-year-old basketball icon, his appearance took him 1 clear of the mark of 1,611 held by Robert Parrish since his retirement back in 1997. The 4-time NBA champion has equaled Parrish's tally on Thursday in stunning fashion, posting a triple-double in the Lakers win over the Heat in Miami. That's about the NBA, and we also wait out to know. But Luka Doncic also is in the story because Luka Doncic led the Lakers with 33 points, but picked up a costly 16C technical foul, which triggered the suspension that will rule him out of Monday's showdown with the Detroit Pistons. And we have to wait to know how it goes. So it's that moment. It's that time we have to get into analysis and then let you know all that transpired. Like I rather said, the biggest of them all is that Ashraf Hakimi have said it. I would not be taking that medal. I am not a champion of the Afcon show. It still belongs to Senegal. And also judge upon where Ballon d'Or winner with Liberian side, a very big integral part of the football world on African shores has come to say, I did not say the news people are talking about me. I debunked that news. I still say the Senegal win stands. We go on a quick break. When we return, the show continues, and it will be that time where I'll have to bring in my guest who is live here in the studio with me as well. We'll connect to Edo State Benin so we can have Carrington Palmer, so we can have a double header right here on the show. Stay with us, we're going nowhere.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
We go to bed empty hunger.
To the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch and cultural full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay. To
Okay, welcome back from that quick break. It's that time we have to go into analysis part, but I could say congratulations to Manchester City of England. And everybody knows there was a time when the old trophy with the three handles felt like the personal property of Pep Guardiola. You know the story. The Man City manager won the League Cup for the first time in 2018, beating Arsenal in the final, and then he repeated the trick in each of the next 3 seasons. On so many levels, City had entered this final as underdogs. We did see it as unusual position, but a reflection of the recent wobbles and how Arsenal have been the preeminent team in England and Europe so far this season. It's not every season that a left back in a goal-scoring hero, not every season that a left back becomes a goal-scoring hero. I'm talking about one man, Nico O'Reilly, and he enjoyed the finest day of his young career, Nico O'Reilly, with the Bears. Now, I must say, the 21-year-old scored with a pair of headers, the first after a horrible handling error from Arsenal reserve goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, whose mystery, will never be forgotten in a hurry in Wembley Cup finals went on. Thereafter, it was just a countdown to the 16th major trophy of Guardiola's City tenure, excluding Community Shield. Arsenal were unbeaten in their previous 6 meetings against City, going back to the 2023 Community Shield, which they won on penalties. Does that count as a trophy for Mikel Arteta? You could ask yourself that question, yes or no, with the emphasis on the latter. It was Arteta's 2020 FA Cup final victory over Chelsea that was their preference and reference point, framing so much from an Arsenal point of view. It remains his only piece of major silverware. This was only Arsenal's and Arteta. This was only Arteta's second cup final as a manager, and it was a day when nothing went as planned for the Spaniard. He was without, the creativity of Ibe Eze, whose game was really missed. But that did not explain the bankruptcy of the performance or the overall meekness. Arsenal failed to show, and the question in the coming days will concern the impact on their confidence in the Premier League title race. And this is the point, psychologically. This is the question, whether they can see it through from their position at the summit. City 9 points back will Saint blood, particularly as they have a game in hand and also have Arsenal to play at home on 19th April 2026. Arsenal's dream of the quadruple is over. But the more worrying detail will be the inevitable questions about their trophy-winning capabilities. Guardiola's major move was to start Antoine Semenyo on the right wing and gave Ryan Cherki a roaming central midfield brief. Semenyo also had a matchup on the Arsenal left-back, Pero Hikapi. He was too quick, just too quick for him, and then City made a difference up that flank. The breakthrough came when Ryan Cherki crossed from the right and Kepa Arrizabalaga got his hands in a model, fumbling the ball and seeing it drop down behind him. And then O'Reilly got it with his head, and then not even Zubimendi or Hincapi could stop that man. And it was so nice to see that goal because Thomas Tuchel, the English coach, was live seeing that very game. That's the man. He's just a kid, you could say. I want to say 21. Arrizabalaga has played 3 League Cup finals. For those asking a question about the man, the first 2 at Chelsea and lost them all. Everybody remembers how he appeared to refuse to come off when the Chelsea manager Mauricio Sarri tried to substitute him before the penalty shootout against City back in 2019. And Kepa Arrizabalaga did save one, but his team were edged out. 3 years later, he missed the decisive 11th penalty as Chelsea lost to Liverpool in another shootout. Arrizabalaga also lost the 2021 FA Cup final with Chelsea to Leicester. So it's more like a mystery for Kepa Arrizabalaga. Now, Guardiola booted an advertising board in delight as Nico O'Reilly wheeled away from that first goal, and the manager's celebration would be even wilder when Nico O'Reilly scored again, arriving on the far point and found himself in space. Arsenal had a couple of late flickers, but Ricardo Calafiori on as a substitute headed at that very one, and Trafford also had a very great save from Declan Rice. So everything that played out yesterday was good for Man City, but not a good one for Mikel Arteta. Pep Guardiola's wild drawn and dance down the Wembley touchline demonstrated the hunger for success, and it remains his competitive fire is still burning right inside of him. Because we saw the goal from Nico O'Reilly when he scored. He had to walk off that celebration, and Guardiola was lost in a moment as he pumped his fist in delight towards City jubilant and also the supporters. And that significance of victory underlined by the crushing beer hugs he gave his players and backroom staff after the final whistle. Pep Guardiola said he joked when quizzed about the celebration. He was actually said, "I wanted another yellow card, and that is why I did it. If I can't celebrate in the moment against a team like Arsenal and the way we are playing, my emotions are related to the way we are played. I am not an artificially intelligent personality. I am human, and I want to celebrate. It was not showing disrespect to Arsenal or for the other fans. I just celebrated with my people, and when I feel it, I express it." Arsenal, by contrast, also were desolated as they missed their chances to win a first trophy since the FA Cup back in 2020, and that result of a timid performance lacking in Arteta's position and ambition still remains evergreen. Yes, I have my man so we can talk this through. Nestor Patrick on the show with me today because I look at City and Guardiola's mission. It was not just simply about winning the EFL Cup. It was to put on the sort of dominance performance that might sow seeds on doubt in Arsenal's mind and then hold a 9-point lead in the Premier League title race. So psychologically, it will play up. It was idle stage for both sides to make a statement, but Man City made this one, and then Arsenal went down the pecking order. It's just what it is about football, and that's how it works. Good morning, great to have you on the show, Nestor Patrick.
Good morning, KCK. Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, that's the look. When you see me talking about Arteta's team and how far they've come, everybody felt like they were the underdogs. No, they were the better side, and City were the underdogs. So it's not usually seen that way. Basically, we can say Arsenal used to be the underdogs. Because looking at what Pep Guardiola has done now, 40 trophies to his name, the Spaniard has done so well in the world of football. If you ask me, I'll tell you, he is the greatest. I said it and I'll say it again. No disrespect to other managers who have etched their name on trophies of that nature, but you look at a man who has won the Premier League 6 times. He's also won the Carabao Cup 5 times. He's won the Club World Cup 4 times. UEFA Super Cup as well 4 times. Champions League 3 times. He's won the La Liga, Bundesliga, Spanish Super Cup, Community Shield, Copa del Rey, VFA Pokal, FA Cup. So a lot of trophies to his name. And what more can we say about Pep Guardiola for you?
All right. I've always oftentimes said Pep Guardiola has given us top-notch football when it comes to, football in general. And I would want to say this. I've always said Alex Ferguson will always, be my number one person.
That's
yeah. For me, it's not an informed opinion, but I rightly do say Alex Ferguson for me. It's my number one. Pep Guardiola on the night yesterday was everything everybody has always wanted to say and will always say. He gave us something, which I think in a very long while we've not seen or heard. We saw how Arsenal started the game on the back foot, but before we know it, O'Reilly, really did what we wanted him to do.
Yeah.
And Arsenal flipped their chance.
Yeah, the way that young man finds himself in space is one thing to be talked about. Nico O'Reilly, there's a lot of pressure on Thomas Tuchel. If you follow the English football very well, you would understand that every time big games have been played, the manager finds himself just somewhere on the pitch, and he was one of those medal personalities who were just having some handshake with some of the players. And I look at Thomas Tuchel watching Nico O'Reilly. He's 21, and I've also seen Lewis Hall play, for Newcastle. Both players of quality. The way Pep Guardiola rotates Nico O'Reilly is top-notch. We don't see left back scoring finals or brace like that. He can play from the midfield. Pep Guardiola has shown us that, yes, he's brought a lot of quality and attribute-wise. And yesterday, he played as a left back. The way he finds himself in space, he's more like a box player on the opposition side. And he found that space. Nobody could stop him. Is this to say that Pep Guardiola has attributed a lot to Man City? 40 trophies in his career. Are we going to see a City stronger even without Pep? Is it ever possible?
It will be a tall order for us. It will be a tall order for football, not just for us as well. What he has attributed to England, especially in England, Germany, Spain, it tells us that Pep Guardiola on the night, any day, is a good coach. And one thing I would love to say concerning O'Reilly, the transition, the way he reads the game yesterday was quite different. I feel Pep has called him so many times to tell him what he needs to do, because I saw the game before yesterday's game, the Manchester United game against Man City. I saw the way O'Reilly struggled when he came into that game, and I felt like when I saw the game, it was the same thing he did against Newcastle, just the same thing.
Yeah.
He was coming from the left, and he scored 2 goals that day as well, and the same thing he did again against Arsenal yesterday. From the back foot, he was reading the game. It's not as if he's this very fast player.
Right.
But one thing he does, he reads the game. And with Pep, the way Pep gives him that decisiveness to come into the midfield and roam together with Czeki, Bernardo Silva, it's top-notch. And on the night, we saw what he did, 2 goals.
Oh, that cannot be taken up in a hurry. What Pep Guardiola has really done, everybody can say, you don't know what's next for Pep Guardiola. Who would have believed it was a Jeremy Doku starting the game from the left side, Anton Semenyo from the right, Ryan Czeki skimming the game, Bernardo Silva, not your regular defensive man. Right. But Rodri reading the back line, and then there was no Ruben Diaz. He got injured. We just see him in the warm-up. Ebe Eze also was off for us now. But I just love the Kovasanov chase, the Victor Gyökeres. The back line was great. There was no McGay because 6 days after, he joined. So looking at the Carabao Cup measures, there's no way McGay would have played that game. But bringing in Ake and Kovasanov, Nico O'Reilly, Matheus Nunes, and your Pep can also hurt any team in the world. Our Pep Guardiola is a quality coach you don't want to test in the final. When it comes to final, he knows how to play games like finals. And Arteta also, maybe reflection of mentality, remember playing off for the Arsenal Gaffer. But look into this one. Let's talk about how the competition affected City's qualification on the European scene. And after beating Arsenal 2-0 in the FA Cup, a place in the playoff stage of the UEFA Conference League. However, if the EFL Cup winners finish in the top 5 of the Premier League table, their Conference League playoff place will instead go to the highest ranked team who have not qualified for the UEFA competition via that league phase. Now, we must tell you, this is because a top 5 league phase, a top 5 league finish guarantees a team qualification for the Champions League or Europa League. The top 4 teams in the Premier League qualify for the league phase of the Champions League. The 5th place team also get the Champions League spot depending on the collective success of the Premier League's club in Europe that season. Now, what about the UEFA Europa League qualification? 2 Europa League places are still also will be given to English clubs who fulfill their own footballing criteria. So Pep Guardiola's side did not just win the final yesterday. They found themselves on the European tie. Of course, we know they would not just want to end their gameplay there. Top 4 finish, the Champions League spot. Top 5 finish, likely also the Champions League spot. And that's how far they've come, and that's how good it is for Man City. Now, also, before we bring in Carrington Palmer, let's tell you this one. We'll have to go back to Carrington Palmer's conversation and tell him about the Carabao Cup. He's got his own take. One man also did something right, but his team were not good enough to get that result. Super Eagles star Ademola Lookman reached multiple milestone with his goal for Atletico de Madrid against Real Madrid. Ademola Lookman delivered a historic moment in the Madrid's derby, but it ultimately ended in a heartbreak for Atletico Madrid. Sadly, the Nigerian forward, his milestone goal was overshadowed by a thrilling Real Madrid comeback at the Santiago Bernabeu. That one from Fede Valverde, and he also was shown a red card later on that game. Ademola Lookman etched his name into the history book by becoming the first Nigerian to score in a Madrid derby, opening the scoring for Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. In doing so, he became the first Atletico Madrid player to score on his La Liga derby, making his debut since Luciano Vieto did back in 2015, and that matching an 11-year club milestone. Lookman's goal came in the 33rd minute after a brilliant attacking move as he drove into the box and calmly finished, following a clever back heel assist from, Simeone's son, Guillermo. That strike handed Diego Simeone's side a 1-0 lead at halftime and capped off a confident first-half display with Atletico looking in control and, of course, a vital win. But that being said, we saw the penalty from Vini. I think he's up in this game. Let's talk about it before we connect to Benin.
Vini on the night yesterday was clinical. He's somebody who I've always questioned because I don't like his way of football. But one thing I saw in him, when Carlo Ancelotti was the coach,
right.
Ancelotti rightly did say, I love Vinicius and I want him to play. Say, Real Madrid is a team, you just need to go out there, like Bay rightly did say, just tell them what to do, allow them to play, allow them to give you those play, and at the tail end of the day, you're going to get the results. And that was what actually happened on the night with the experience these guys had. Valverde, the young Pitach, what's his name again? Chomeni was top-notch on the night. I was watching it, I was like, see, we are going to beat these guys silly. But
we are going to your club side, Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Oh, okay. Hala Madrid. Congratulations,
though. So, the transition from the back to the midfield to the defense and back again to the attack was top-notch. And one person I really did respect yesterday was, what's his name again? Frank Garcia.
Yeah, okay.
He was everywhere. He was running for his teammates. He was everywhere. And at the tail end of the day, like we rightly did say, it is Real Madrid, and we got the results. Hala Madrid.
Okay, Hala Madrid, that's what he's going to say. He likes to celebrate his club side, and that's about, the man I have on the show today. But good results. The goal we'll not forget in a hurry was that one that came from that very man, Molina. That distance goal was great. No keeper would have caught that one. It wasn't Thibaut Courtois, the goal post. It was Lunin. But I love the way they played. When Atletico scored, the way Lookman found himself in space, that the change from the manager was quick. Antoine Griezmann got off, Lookman got off, Julian Alvarez continued the game, but Hako without the wrong challenge. It was, I think this is what we want to see in football. Nestor, we want to see players on the game. When there was no Kylian Mbappe, Vini stepped up.
Yep. Now,
Kylian is back and trying to, still struggling. Vini still showed up. And just to talk about Vini, he's not scored against Atletico Madrid. He's not scored in the derby. And that yesterday, he owned up, he showed up, and that's what players do. He got a brace.
You know what he said yesterday after the match? He said, the coach told me, Arbeloa told me to score 2 goals, and even before now, Ancelotti always tells me to score 2 goals whenever I play against Atleti. It has never happened for me, but yesterday, I'm grateful to God. I got 2 goals against Atleti and more to come.
Yeah, it wasn't Jan Oblak on the post, it was Musso. But what about that pass from trainer Alexander-Arnold from the bench?
I didn't see, I never expected Trent to do that run.
But we all know he has technical abilities.
He used to, not anymore. But the moment I saw that space, I was like, Shady's boy, if you do this thing. And I was shocked he did it. He took on 2 players, went in. The pass, I was expecting him to divert the pass this way because he was coming from the right, and all of a sudden back to Vini, and the rest was history.
Yeah, the rest was history, but Lookman's team, Koke, Cardoso, Simeone, the rest of the guys, Hako, Ruggieri, Lenormand, I'm so sorry, Lorente, for that, Molina, all of the players who were on that very game. But credit to Real Madrid for that well-deserved lead, even though Fede Valverde got off, and we must give them what they deserve. Goal from Vinicius Junior. That brace was all Abelwao just needed to make his mark and continue the chase to Barcelona, Football Club Barcelona. And Carvajal also, Rudiger, they all did well. How saying, so Madrid, that's how you play. That's how champions do. That's what they do when the time is right. I must say they've done well. But quickly, let's talk to our very man just behind the scene before we talk about Hakimi's case. Carrington Palmer, if you're here, good morning. Great to have you. Do I have Carrington already? Carrington, if you're here. Okay, so we have to forge on. Just keep moving while we have to connect with Carrington if he joins us again. But a quick one. Oh, okay, he's here already.
Yeah, good morning, Kiziki.
Yeah, it feels great to have you. We almost lost you on the show today. You'd have played the bench role today. You just somewhere on the bench. We'll bring you in 92 minutes. Welcome, great to have you. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
It's usually not my question to ask on the show how you're feeling, but all the way I have to do so. But let's talk about the Carabao Cup played yesterday. Well-deserved victory for Man City.
Oh yes, 100%. Especially in the second half. Arsenal, in that second half, they didn't come to play football at all. Like, with what I saw from them, I was saying, how is this team topping the Premier League table at this stage of the season? But it is what it is. Other side, they've not been good. They've not been consistent. But City, they deserve to win the game yesterday. The way they played, Antoine Semenyo was absolutely a beauty to watch. Ryan Cherki, too, a very beautiful player to watch yesterday. And I think I have to fault Mikel Arteta for actually losing that final yesterday, because it was very obvious that Hikapi is on the yellow card and he was unable to make that change or to even take out Trossard, because Trossard was not doing his defensive.
But he got them off later. He got them off the show.
You say?
But he later got Hikapi off. He got Trossard off. He got them off.
I can't hear you.
I said he got those players off. Calafiori came in. Trossard also went off. So he had some changes, you know. Oh, he's struggling to hear me. I don't know, but Carrington, it feels like it's not your day. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
So I was saying the manager, yes, wrong second half. They never came to play in the second half, but we saw Hincapié, who was a yellow card, that he got off for Calafiori, and also we saw Trossard, the Belgian international, he got off as well.
Oh, yeah. They got off, but it was already too late. City has already done the damages that they want to do. Yes, it was too late for those changes. Before those goals, he could have made those changes. You came out in the second half and you were not playing anything. It was obvious these people, City was trying to hurt you from Hikapié wing. He should have been able to actually stop those goals from coming on before he actually made those changes. But City were the better side ultimately. They deserve to win yesterday. They showed character. They showed like, oh yes, if we want to win, let us win. If we lose, let us lose. But we came here to play this final and we came here to win. And you can't say City do not deserve to win. Yeah, you might say they're a little bit of luck from what are they called? The Arsenal goalkeeper, Kepa. Yes, he gifted them the first goal, but yeah, they are going to take it. The second goal too, they deserve to score. Nico O'Reilly, just a day after his 21st birthday, scoring 2 goals in the final. It was a very, very, very good game for him. Great performance at Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola, his 19th trophy as a Manchester City manager. Yeah. Fantastic man, like great manager, great coach. And yeah, so, like you rightly said, he's your best manager. Yeah, I can also say he's also my best manager of all time.
You're laughing. Why? You're saying it, and why you? That's his opinion. You said your greatest manager is Ferguson. So he's saying his greatest manager is Pep. So it's people's different opinion, but I just would say, look at capability, look at what he has brought to the table. This man has got a start. This man, Pep Guardiola, should be studied somewhere in a football university. He started to play from the back. He's brought a lot of lifestyle to football, and what he does, he can't be read. The best player in the Serie A, like I always say all the time, Tijani Rangers is playing from the bench. Sometimes, Foden, serial winner of the Premier League, he started from the bench. So it's a City thing. But lastly, let me ask you before we go, because I doubt we can go to the Hakimi story. Let me ask you, so I'm so concerned about psychologically for us now. How can they go from here? Is this going to deter what they are looking for? They are on the quadruple run. They were on a quadruple run before, but now that's lost. Triple now, triple left.
they are not going to win the quadruple any longer, but they are still they can still win the treble if they are very consistent. But they are very lucky. We are
the treble. You think so?
Break. These 2 weeks is going to those football club football activities. I think this will enable them to rest and reset and also think, okay, what can we do till the end of the season? They are still 9 points clear of Manchester City, although City have a game in hand against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace, they have not been good, they have not been consistent since the year began. And let's hope City gets to win that game. It's going to be 6 points, but they still have a City to play at the Etihad Stadium, which is ultimately might be the title decider. But I don't see Arsenal losing the league at this stage of the season, although they're proven in the past before that they can bottle anything. But this season, I don't think Arsenal would bottle it. I still see them to win the league at the end of the season.
Okay, just a short time. I don't know. I feel like if we had all the time today, this man has got a lot to talk about with you. But maybe we could do this when we come on Wednesday. Hopefully, if he comes on the show, that we can connect on Wednesday so we can analyze this. Because the more you're talking, the more he's laughing right here just by my side. But anyways, it's just what it is. Carrington Palmer, I have to sign you out from here. Thank you so much for being on the show. We can do this again hopefully on Wednesday. Sorry for the short time. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so yes, Nestor Patrick, every club side has got its own savior, not the VOP type. Do you understand it? Every club side has got their own savior. What we saw yesterday was Nico O'Reilly saving the team that they deserve.
Nico O'Reilly doing the right thing.
He has done what he needs to do. Not even nobody in VOP TV, no savior can save him. But the savior that they had himself there is a Nico O'Reilly. That's how football do. That's how champions do. That's what you do. You put yourself on the map. You become a savior that can save the people, not in the political way. All right, man, I have to let you go from here. Thank you so much, Nestor Patrick. So you want to look at the camera and say you're going to be here on Wednesday?
Definitely. I'll be here on Wednesday.
All right. Yes, thank you so much. It's that time for us to call it a close. We have the media news coming up next. Right here on the show, we are the voice of Lagos. Come out, voice of the television, Lagos, Nigeria. The best place to be is Special Public Show will come your way again, hopefully tomorrow. Ikechukwu Agwagwa will be here to take you through. And then, trust me, he's going to tell them more about football elite and good saviors out there. Be safe, find yourself in a very good space. We'll see you again when I return. Save.
Extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpehon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please discuss.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m. only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories. From missing funds to policy failures, we ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television. Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens. Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories. From missing funds to policy failures, we ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
I'm Sarah Nystrom from Sweden, aka Chief Omobawale, Communication Queen. Keep watching VOP TV.
I am Samantha Jacobs, representing the States. Miami's in the house, and I want to make a shout out to VOP TV. I'm a humanitarian, and I'm also a rep in the film industry and the art industry. I help dreams come true, and I help you keep on that path. Shout out to VOP TV because you're helping people stay on their path too. Cheers.
All right, my name is John Odibo. Keep watching Voice of the People because it's a fantastic station to be with all the time. Thank you very much.
My name is Pastor Evi Siru, the convener of the Voice Achievers Award, and keep watching VOP. Yes, that is the channel for all the people. No color, no race. Thank you so much.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is Abbas Sunkan from the Netherlands. I am a designer and I'm here in Eco Hotel and Suits. Keep watching VOP, the voice of the people. Don't touch that dial.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The people's voice. Make your voice count.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chike Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello, peeps. My name is Yomi E. Adejumo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacey Benjamin, and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports, and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us, and you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it, or I'll find you, and I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked, because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time, because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want to actually, I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that dial, because VOP is the plot.
From the views on the street,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's law.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Hello and welcome to the Midday News on Voice of the People Television. I am Solomon Ofem. First, our top stories. Army kills armed bandits in Terje camp parade. Army chief urges troops to uphold unity and sacrifice. IGP Diso denies nationwide tactical unit shutdown. Delta Police confirm no rape cases at fertility festival. Wiki-backed PDP denies supporting Tinubu's re-election bid. Article rejects federal government OPL 245 resolution claim. And a business news, Nigeria earns $31.5 billion from crude oil exports in 2025. In sport, CAF updates 2025 records, names Morocco Afcon champions. And in entertainment news, MI names Nigeria's greatest rapper of all time. Now we'll bring you details of these and more, starting with troops of the Nigerian army have reportedly killed dozens of armed bandits in a raid on a camp linked to notorious kingpin Bello Terji. The operation targeted hideouts in a Fakai community spanning Shinkafi and Isa local government areas of Zamfara and Sokoto State. Security sources say the assault was carried out by the Army's 8th Division Strike Force in Sokoto in the early hours of March 20, deep inside the Kagara forest. However, the advance was briefly halted after two combat support vehicles developed mechanical faults near Mabaraya village in Isa local government.